When you think about a question when it comes to software development, you're probably thinking something uber technical, right? Input validation, blacklisting, whitelisting, buffer overflow, memory checking, all that fun stuff. But sometimes on certification exams especially, the hardest questions around secure coding or software development are the non-technical questions, or the least technical ones. So let's take a look at this non-technical question here on Qtna. So what the question is basically asking is, when should you introduce security into the software development lifecycle, also known as the Sdlc? So when should security come into this process? So you could kind of answer this in two ways. The first way, which is the harder way, is to memorize all the steps of the Sdlc and then memorize what happens at each step or phase. But, if you have the time, you can study like that. But I have a more efficient way of doing it. So the second option that you have is stick to what we call a theme, right? A very important security theme, especially important in software development. So the theme is this. The theme is that security should be introduced as soon as possible whenever you're building anything. So if you're building a building, right, you have to think about the security implication. You have to design it well. If you're building an application, you have to, again, not just make sure that the application works, you have to make sure it works securely. It's like baking a cake. You don't want to add security on at the end. That's not going to taste good. You have to bake security in with the cake, right? Try to integrate it as soon as possible. Try to prioritize security. Try to, again, integrate it so everybody understands that security is important and we're not adding security on at the end, which really makes things insecure. So, using that knowledge, really what we have to do here now is we have to say to ourselves, okay, which one of these steps in the Sdlc actually happens first? Because the first step, or the earliest step, is going to be the one where we want to introduce security. So functional requirements. Okay, that sounds like a planning step, but that more has to do with, again, steps that are very, very specific. So functional requirements, how is it actually going to work? What is it going to do, right? So maybe, but probably not. Testing and evaluation, again, that probably happens later, right? System design. Again, that sounds something very, very specific. It's even too technical to be like a very, very first step. We're certainly designing the system, but again, it sounds like the functional requirements. And then finally, D. I'm not supposed to say D. I have to say that last one. We're going to do the whole thing over again. Okay. And finally, we have the last one here, which is project initiation and planning. That's what we're looking for, right? That's absolutely what we're looking for. That's definitely going to be happening before the functional requirements. Again, how do we get to this? We took a little shortcut. We said security happens early as possible in the Sdlc. What is the first step in the Sdlc? Or what sounds like it? Absolutely project initiation and planning. Plan for security. Integrate security into your planning. You're going to build stuff that is more secure. So in our courses, this is one of our big test day strategies. Instead of memorizing everything, if you understand very important themes, it's going to basically help you choose the right answer choice, because there are going to be answer choices that fit into certain themes that you'll be taking with you on your exam, okay? So again, it's not really like a shortcut. You still have to know your stuff, but again, you got to think like the test maker, and a way to do that is really understanding important themes. So maybe we'll talk about some more themes next week on Qtna. We'll see you there.